Good morning to one and all. Today our topic is functional requirements of OGSA. Here we have to discuss here interoperability and support for dynamic and heterogeneous environment, and one more resource sharing across organizations and optimization quality of service, and one more assurance job execution data services, and coming to the key point security, and later we'll discuss administrative cost reduction, and then scalability and availability, and last one easy of use and extensibility. Today we are discussing the interoperability and support for dynamic and heterogeneous environments. Here what in the sense, the need to support the heterogeneous systems, it leads to the requirements that include the following. First one, resource virtualization. Okay, in the sense it essential, in the sense important essential to reduce the complexity of managing different systems and to handle the diverse resources in a unified way. And coming to the common management capabilities, it's simplifying administration of a heterogeneous system. It requires mechanisms for uniform and consistent management of resources. We are discussing here first of all the basic functions. It includes discovery and brokering, the virtual organizations, data sharing, monitoring, and policy. Here we want to see what types of requirements we have to use here. In the sense, the global grid forum, it has started developing a standard for grid computing in the form of OGSA or OGSI, where they need to understand the basic requirements of the grid along with the purpose, the functions, and details. Here the aim of the global grid forum is to design a standard and produce a document which should focus on identifying the requirements for open grid service architecture services and components. Here there are various types of requirements of OGSA are, first one, functionality and security and resource management and system properties and quality of service requirements and data service requirements, and finally administrative cost reduction requirements. We have to see the first one, basic function. It includes discovery and brokering. Here it mechanisms to discover and allocate services, data, and resources. Service brokers the check availability of software and hardware, identifying the codes and platform for execution. Okay, here we have to learn the data sharing and management. What we want to manage the data archives and data in cache to make sure that data is consistency for indexing and metadata. What about deployment? To deploy data in the hosting environment for execution purpose, to deploy the application executable for running apps. And coming to the virtual organizations, it create a virtual organization in the grid to provide resources to customers job and negotiate with other grid if required to either share data or resources. Okay, and coming a minimum set of common manageability capability is required. Okay, resource discovery and query mechanisms are required for discovering resources with the desired attributes and for retrieving their properties. Discovery and query should handle a highly dynamic and heterogeneous system. In the sense, different system, the standard protocols and schemas, the structures we have to use it there. Important for interoperability. In addition, the standard protocols are also particularly important important as their use can simplify the transition to using grids. In the sense application monitoring, there are two levels of monitoring. First one is low level, in the sense resources management, and high level business process management. Users can monitor their job across organizational view of resources and fail over management. We have to study here the policies, platforms, and mechanisms and administrative environments. And first of all, we have to know the resource sharing across organizations. Okay. First of all, one major purpose of open grid service architecture is to support, it is to provide resource sharing and utilization across administrative domains. Whether here the different work units within an enterprise, the resource sharing requirements include global namespace, metadata services, site autonomy, and resource usage data. Okay, these are the four concepts we have to learn in resource sharing across organizations. Here, what is the global namespace? To easy data and resource access, here open grid service architecture entities should be able to access other OGSA entities transparently. It's subject to security constraints and without regard to location or replication. In the sense global name space, we want to access easy to access data and resource, and it initiate should be able to access the entities transparently, and it's subject to security the constraints, in the sense security conditions without regard to the location or replication. And coming to the metadata services, metadata, data about data is nothing but metadata. Here the essential to find, calling, and tracking the entities, it should be possible to allow for accessing and propagation, aggregation, and management of entity metadata across administrative domains. And coming to the site autonomy, in the sense mechanisms, processes are required for accessing resources across sites while respecting the local control and policy. And coming to the resource usage data, here the mechanisms and standard schemas for collecting and exchanging resource usage, that is nothing but consumption. In the sense we have to store the data across organizations and standard schemas for collecting and exchanging the resources what it can be able to use for the purpose of accounting, billing, etc. And coming to the optimization quality of service assurance. Okay, in resource management requirements, we have to do provisioning, in the sense of CPU, storage, network applications, and sensor instruments. It required the proper allocation. These must be uniform and consistent. The resource virtualization is dynamic provisioning of these resources virtually, in the sense without customer knowledge. Okay, the resource usage optimization, in the sense all resources to be effectively used, and we have to manage and monitoring. Here the constant monitoring of tasks and conflict resolution management when it is required. And we have to learn here load balancing, dynamic allocation of jobs to various resources to optimize load balancing, and advanced reservation application execution to happen on reserved resources. And coming to the pricing, in the sense the resource usage data billing services based on metering of time and usage of resources, for example Skynet. Okay, here the self healing application level or database level rollback facility, here the heartbeat between servers and or storage devices, etc., to make sure that we have to store that data. And coming to the optimization quality of service assurance. Okay, here the optimization refers to techniques used to allocate resources effectively to meet consumer and supplier requirements is nothing what does optimization exactly in the sense it refers to techniques whatever we have to use it to allocate the resources effectively and efficiently to meet the client and the server requirements and the consumer and the supplier requirements. The optimization it applies the both supply side and the consumer side of resources and services. Okay, here, the optimization quality of service assurance, its services such as job execution and data services must provide quality of service. The key quality of service dimensions include, but are not limited to availability, security, and performance of high quality of service. Assurance requirements include here first one the service level agreement in the sense negotiation between service requester and provider prior to service execution, and its standard mechanism should be provided to create and manage agreements. Okay, in nothing the quality of service should be represented by agreements which are established through negotiation between the service requester and provider prior to service execution. The standard mechanisms provided to create and manage agreements. Okay, this is nothing but service level agreement. And coming to the service level attainment, what we have to attain, what we have to obtain. If the agreement requires attainment of service level, the resources used by the service, it should be adjusted so that the required quality of service is maintained. What is this service level attainment exactly in the sense the mechanisms for monitoring service quality and estimating resource utilization, and planning for and adjusting the resources usage are required. Okay, and coming to the therefore the mechanisms for monitoring the service quality and estimating resource utilization and planning for adjusting the resources whatever you have to usage or required. And coming to the last one, migration, the name itself what it exactly says, it migrate the executing services or applications to adjust the workloads for performance or availability. Okay, it should be possible to migrate the executing services or applications to adjust the workloads, the performance or availability. Here the job execution functions such as scheduling, provisioning, job control and exception handling of jobs, it must be supported even when the job is distributed over a great number of heterogeneous resources. Such as job execution requirements include like it support for various job types, execution of various types of jobs must be supported including simple jobs and complex jobs such as workflow and composite services. And coming to the job management, it is important to be able to manage jobs during their entire lifetimes and types of groupings of jobs, for example workflows, job arrays. The process are also required for controlling the execution of individual job steps as well as choreography services, scheduling. And coming to the ability to schedule and what we want to execute the job based on such information as a specified priority, we have to give the specified priority. And for scheduling across administrative domains by using multiple schedulers, resource provisioning to automate the complicated process of resource allocations, deployments and the configuration, it must be possible to deploy the required applications and data to resources and configure them automatically. Okay, this is nothing but quality of service requirements. What are the job we have to learn in job requirements And coming to the concept of data services requirements. Here, listen carefully. Data services requirements. Here, we want to learn what it supports in the sense of the policy specification and management for sharing and integration of distributed data. For example, enabling access to information stored in databases that are managed and administered independently with suitable security assurances. Okay, the data services requirements include policy specification and management. And examples include specification of who can access data, where data will be required. Okay, in the sense nothing more. Data services require its support for sharing, it providing the sharing and integration of distributed data. For example, it enabling access to information stored in databases that are managed and administered independently with the suitable security assurances. Okay, here the data services requirements include the policy specification and management. What that example in the sense, it includes the specification of who can access data and where data will be required, and what transformations are permitted on the data, and whether use is exclusive or not, and what performance or availability is required, and how much resources can be used. Okay, and what consistency is mandated between the replicas and same constraints. Okay, and same conditions. Okay, similar constraints, whatever it may be. And coming to the data storage, disk and tape systems amongst others, we want to store data in common interfaces, support the provision of storage and management of quotas and lifetime and properties such as encryption and persistency. What is the meaning of the encryption? In the sense, data encryption while transmission from one location to another, the multi-level security infrastructure, it distributed the environment, a single password and multi-level security. Okay, and coming to the data access in the sense, the clients require easy and efficient access to various types of data such as databases, files. A stream is nothing but flow of data and integrated data through a uniform, through a same set of interfaces it is required and independent of its physical location or platform by abstracting underlying data resources. And coming to the data transfer in the sense, a high bandwidth transfer of data is required and independent of the physical attributes of the data sources, and it syncs which can exploit the relevant features of those sources and sync if required. And finally, data location management, these services manages where data is physically located. Okay, and coming to the data update, although some data resources are read only, if not most provides some users with update privileges. And coming to the data persistency, and data persistency in the sense nothing ma'am, data should be preserved according to specified policy, and it's associated with its metadata should be maintained in accordance with that policy. And coming to the data federation, it's nothing, open grid service architecture should support data integration for different and distributed data, heterogeneous data. It includes data organized according to different schemas, different structures and data, it's storing usage different technologies. Okay, and finally we have to learn about the security. What about ma security? Coming to the security concept, it's safe administration requirements and security safe administration, it requires controlling access to service through robust security protocols, and according to provided security policy, the security requirements include authorization, authentication, and authorization and accounting. In the sense, to enter and use the apps or data in the grid, the data encryption while transmission from one location to another, multi-level security infrastructure will be attained. It's a distributed environment, a single password and multi-level security, providing security on either side of firewall and outside firewall. Security is called perimeter security. Okay. And coming to the isolation, various kinds of isolation must be ensured, such as isolation of users, performance isolation, and isolation between content offerings within the same grid system. And coming to the delegation mechanisms that allows for delegation of access rights from service requesters to service providers or required. And the applications and networked level firewalls, there are two levels of firewalls in internet and grid computing resources. The certifications from trusted party, security policy exchange, servers, requesters, and providers should be able to exchange dynamically security policy information to establish a negotiated security context between them. Coming to the intrusion detection and protection, okay, and secure logging, its strong monitoring is required for intrusion detection and identification of misuses, malicious data, including virus or worm attacks. And finally, we discuss the administrative cost reduction. Okay, we have to learn about administrative cost reduction. Here we have to learn the complexity of administering large scale distributed and heterogeneous systems. It increases administrative cost and the risk of human errors. Policy based upon the management, it required to automate the grid system control so that the application's content management mechanism can facilitate the deployment, configuration, and maintenance of complex systems by allowing all application related information to be specified and managed as a single logical unit. The problem determination mechanisms are needed so that administrations can recognize and cope quickly with emerging problems. And coming to the scalability, the process of being scaled in a grid system, it can create added value such as drastically reducing job, it turn around the time, allowing for utilizing the huge number of resources, thereby enabling the new services. And coming to the availability, mean time to repair, in the sense heterogeneity of the grid disaster recovery mechanisms are needed so that the operation of a grid system can be recovered quickly and efficiently in case of human caused disaster, avoiding long term service disruption. And coming to the easy of use and extensibility, mechanism and policy must be realized via extensible and replaceable components to permit open grid service architecture. We want to evolve the overtime and allow users to construct their own mechanisms and policies to meet the specific needs. And finally, we have to conclude the functional requirements of OGSA. Grid computing allows networked resources to be combined and used. Grid computing offers great benefit to an organization, and OGSA are comprehensive standards which governs grid computing. Thank you.